Welcome back to my channel, y'all, and greetings from Studio Z. As always, I hope you're doing amazingly well out there, because today I want to talk with y'all about a few things that you need to do if you get sick on the road. Now, your procedures will vary based off the illness. I am not a guy who is registered for medical advice, so please pay attention. And I will talk with y'all about that coming up. So I'm back down in the living room now. And that's because my audio quality wasn't that great up in the studio today. So I hope y'all are doing amazing out there. And we need to talk about what to do if you get sick on the road. So let's start before you get sick. Have a plan and have supplies. The plan should be written down somewhere, and the supplies should already be in your truck. Things like disinfecting wipes, hand sanitizer, liquid soap, just to name a few. If you do not have these, you might want to get them on order now, because shortages are definitely going on. Some of it due to hoarders, some of it due to you living in an area where they need it for the doctors and the hospitals, and some of it in other locations. I mean, gosh, even the state of New York is having problems getting the basics. I just heard this morning that their governor is now having the prisoners make their own hand sanitizer to compete with the likes of Purell and what's that other one? Germex. So we'll start there. Now we go to number 2, the plan. The plan is simple. You get your supplies before you get sick, and you get your doctor, your family, and your dispatch on your favorites list or speed dial ASAP. Now, on iPhone it's called speed dial, on Android it's called a favorites list. Check your phone's manual for details on how to set this up. Now, you'll want 3 ICE contacts. ICE stands for in case of emergency. Those 3 that I just mentioned: your doctor, your family, and your work. Okay, so now what if your work relies on something like Qualcomm, for example? Well, use that too. Don't argue about that. Now, for those of y'all who think, oh, we're taking away your freedom, just know that this illness spreads via respiratory droplets, the same way the common cold and influenza spread. And if you didn't have sick day procedures then, you're in deep trouble now. Especially, let me show you something here. If you got an autoimmune disorder that requires a patch like this one, you are in real danger. Okay? And I'll explain what that patch is in just a minute. But, people like me are especially vulnerable to the effects of any illness. Some of it due to medication, some of it due to the way viruses work. So, what I want to say is this. You are the one in danger if you get this. So, please, please, please have the plan ready to go. And oh yeah, one more thing you need to have. This applies to any driver, and especially those who drive professionally like me. Think like a pilot. Have a safe place in mind. Because if you don't, you're asking for trouble. And in this era of a lot of people getting laid off and begging and living out on the streets, trucking is about to really change. I'm going to say that much. Those carriers that haul critical stuff, they're going to get bigger. So think Walmart, Swift, H-E-B, etc. Those carriers that don't haul that stuff, like the oil field haulers, they're already getting laid off. Cheap gas for me, for my commute, is great. But the problem lies in the fact that we are in a pandemic. So, now let's go on to what you do if you get sick. So you've got your medications, your supplies, your Freestyle Libre sensors, like this one on my arm. It's underneath my shirt sleeve here. And there we go, that's better. And your phone and your prescription meds, etc., all on board. You've got your groceries, you called Instacart or downloaded the Shipt app, or you got in touch with your local grocery store and had them deliver to you curbside when you were on home time. Now you got plenty in stock, and you've started to feel ill. Now's the time to hit up that stockpile. Now's the time to call your doctor. Now's the time to pull off at a safe place and wait until conditions improve. That's right, the DOT has guidance on this. In fact, it's in the hours of service regulations. I can actually provide a link to the regulation down in the show description. But it says, and I quote, "No driver shall ever drive while seriously fatigued or ill." That means basically what it is as soon as you start feeling ill, you need to start hunting for a safe place and shut down immediately, even if it's just a cold now. I'm dead serious about that too, because fatigued and ill driving puts your life in danger and puts the lives of others at risk. So, now what if it's a severe illness that comes on, like not only COVID, but let's say diabetes or sleep apnea? And I'm being honest about that. I just spoke with my doctor this morning by video visit, and he instructed me on some stuff that I'm going to be going through in the next couple of months. He talked with me about the symptoms of sleep apnea in particular, which is one of the side effects of my diabetes. But yeah, if you're fatigued, pull off, take a nap. And if you're sick, pull off, call your dispatch, and let them know what is going on, so that way they can arrange for another driver to come get your load, and so that you can safely get to wherever you need to go to rest up and get yourself to feeling better. Now's the time to dig into that stockpile of chicken noodle soup. Now's the time to call emergency services if you do have to have things like trouble breathing. Now's the time to do your part when you get sick. Call your doctor. Call your family. Call your dispatch, in that order. And if it's emergency, make sure the call to emergency services happens before the rest of the three. So that way they know, hey, And by the way, when you call all these people, emergency services, your doctor, your dispatch, and your family, make sure, and I mean make sure, that you know your location. Because if you don't know your location, it's going to make things that much harder on them. Get the address of the truck stop or the mile marker in the exit. Now, there's truck stop guides that have that in there. Get all the information that you can before you head out. If you're yawning like that, that's a sign you need to pull over. It's that simple. If you're chugging soda, it's probably time for you to pull over as well. So, getting sick on the road is no fun. It's very hard to deal with. Your truck stop may not be able to help you. But you can help yourself. So let's stop this crisis. Let's flatten the curve. Let's stop people from getting sick. By following social distancing and by following the advice of your local officials. And if you are in an essential job like me, that you know what to do if you get sick on the road or anything happens to you. Until next time, keep learning, keep thinking, keep driving safely. And let's make your best trip your next trip. And if you do get sick, do not hesitate to pull over in a safe environment like a truck stop. Or, better yet, stay home. Bye for now.